drugs that increase cholinergic or acetylcholine transmission will increase focus and cognition. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter. Acetylcholine is also released from two sites in the brain, the PPN in the back of the brain and nucleus basalis in the front of the brain. Collaborate to activate particular locations in the brain and really bring about a tremendous degree of focus to whatever is happening at those particular synapses. One such compound is so-called alpha-GPC, which is a form of choline and increases acetylcholine transmission, have been shown to offset some of the effects of age-related cognitive decline, improve cognitive functioning in people that don't have age-related cognitive decline. That's typically when people are using alpha-GPC to study or to enhance learning of any kind. They will take somewhere between 300 and 600 milligrams. Alpha-GPC is effective in creating more focus by way of this cholinergic system. It stimulates acetylcholine release from both of those locations. So if one wants to increase the amount of dopamine transmission in the brain and body for sake of increasing concentration and focus, one of the most efficient ways to do that is by ingestion of the amino acid L-tyrosine. L-tyrosine is an amino acid precursor to L-dopa, so it lies further up the dopamine synthesis pathway. That people will take L-tyrosine as a way to get more energized, alert, and focused. And indeed, there are data that L-tyrosine will accomplish that. It is a potent stimulus for increasing dopamine, and the time scale for increasing dopamine is about 30 to 45 minutes after ingestion. Dopamine levels start to peak. Again, L-tyrosine can be derived from food sources. I will take 500 milligrams of L-tyrosine, 300 milligrams of alpha-GPC, and a cup of coffee. I'm careful to do this early in the day, certainly not after 2 or 3 p.m. because I don't want to diminish my ability to fall and stay asleep that night. Do this early in the day before a workout or before a bout of concentrated mental work. I tend to do this about 4 days per week, so certainly not every time I sit down to do work. Now, there's one other compound that I've used in order to increase focus and concentration, and that's phenylethylamine. Phenylethylamine is in the dopamine synthesis pathway, so it increases dopamine transmission and tends to function a little bit differently than L-tyrosine. It's a very short-lived compound, so what I'll tend to do is take it once at the beginning of the work bout, and sometimes in the middle of the work bout, I'll take another 500 milligram capsule. But what I just described of combining all of those compounds, alpha-GPC, L-tyrosine, phenylethylamine, and caffeine, that's a fairly rare occurrence that I'll combine all four, and really only under conditions in which I have to do an intensely challenging bout of mental or physical work. I would say the frequency at which I combine all four of those things is probably about once every 2 weeks, and typically more like once a month. Again, being careful to do that in the early part of the day, certainly before the noon hour, so that I am in no way going to disrupt my sleep.